Indonesia is the world's largest Muslim country, often observing Sharia law. Is Sumatra dangerous for an American? Hopefully my sense of humor will keep me out of harm's way. I'm American, so you want to kill me? Do you want to kill me?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Shaney, an experienced world traveler. For years I've traveled the planet seeking to satisfy my wanderlust. I've scaled the Himalayas, hiked the Great Wall of China. I've studied under the Dalai Lama, goofing with the locals all the while. Welcome to the Laughing Planet! This isn't going to be a boring documentary. It's going to be a wild and frenetic docu-comedy. I don't want to be lost in the crowd. I want to find paradise lost by going where tourists seldom dare to tread. For me, that means tribal villages, wild orangutans, and slashing through primary forest. Welcome to Getting Off the Beaten Track. We're on the ferry that crosses the Straits of Malacca from Malaysia to Sumatra, Indonesia. The world's 5th largest island, Sumatra is home to wild rhinos, elephants, and orangutans. It's also known for earthquakes, its many active volcanoes, and for having borne the brunt of the damage from the 2004 tsunami. You can definitely say we're headed to one of the wildest and most exciting places on Earth. My first stop in Indonesia was the city of Medan, also known as the armpit of Sumatra. 'Cause it's hot and sweaty, getting around is hairy, and it really smells. Whew. You come to Sumatra for rainforest, but everywhere you look is a concrete jungle. Now, as the host of this docu-comedy, the first thing I needed was a haircut. $10 at Supercuts is way too much for a miser like me. These lovely folks cut my hair for under $1. This is no good. This is a 5-head, right? Not a 4-head. This is 5. My feminine friends are about to cut my hair. I'm a little bit nervous, but I look like Pippi Longstocking here. They're showing us pictures of their boyfriend's man parts on their cell phone. Here's why the price was so cheap. After a feel-up like this, some people have a smoke, but I got a cup of joe. Indonesia is one of the largest coffee-producing regions in the world, and Sumatra produces almost half of the country's coffee. And it is delicious. It is wonderful. Sumatra coffee. Tastes better than Starbucks for less bucks than Starbucks, so Starbucks can buck off. Hey, come on! Can I have one of these, Aldo? Being a broke backpacker, I naturally look to find some work. But let me tell you, you gotta be nuts to try to cut coconuts. It's amazing that I didn't lose a finger, although I did lose a little pride. No good. Okay, it was sloppy, but good enough. I know it's childish, but I just couldn't resist giving the statue a playful tweak. And I realize this is a little mean, but this reminds me of that pineapple lady. I'm telling you, these two are separated at birth. And so is this long-lost brother of Minnesota Vikings coach Dennis Green. Yes! You play guitar? Let me stand next to your firehouse. We've come across a very famous person here. This is Pat Morita from The Karate Kid. Yes, hello, my friend.
Yes.
How are you today? Yes, of course. Yes. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. Hello, Dalai Lama. Yes. So it's time to escape the concrete jungle on a bus headed to Bukit Lawang. Very comfortable bus. We love this bus. Lots of space, playing nice music, the driver is not so crazy, everything is perfect except the smell of vomit. It's nice to be on the way out of big cities. And suddenly I'm surrounded by girls signing and painting their shirts in celebration. Yeah, good. You graduated from school today. Yay! Good job, congratulations. At the Laughing Planet, we respect any girl who makes it through high school. I love the colors, because that means they're 18 and I can flirt with them. I'm signing autographs. Yes. I love you. Whoops. I forgot the local customs when I signed I love you. Which now means we're legally married. But since I want to save the world and not save money for palimony, I'm leaving my signature and that's all. Backpacking is great. There is never a dull moment traveling in the developing world. Did you know that Elvis got his start busking on an Indonesian Greyhound? That's why he's called the bus king of rock and roll. It's a beautiful child back over here. Uniforms. As an American, compliments and a good attitude help when you're traveling. But how do you compliment someone in a burqa? Hey, gorgeous. You got beautiful eyes that I can't really see. Okay, good. You have the burqa. It's very interesting. I gotta cross the new bridge over the Bohrok River on my way to a rubber plantation. These are the Indonesian Beverly Hillbillies right here. They're going to California! And where do rubber plantation workers live? Condominiums. This is what they collect in those little cups. I guess they smash it all together and make it into these big, rotting, flesh, stinky, big piles of nasty rubber crap. Yeah? I can't explain in words just how bad this stuff smells. I want to see that guy on that show, Dirtiest Jobs, come and do this. This guy seems to be saying, smell my finger. We're from the USA, America.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Do you like funny jokes?
No, no.
Yes, you like funny jokes? It's a good market. Good smells, good sights, good sounds. This is everything you want when you travel, right here. What are you doing in here? What is this?
Yeah, the order.
It's kind of a gauzy lighting. This is for women though, right? Like this.
For women.
Yes, yes. I look like one of those ladyboys in Medan. This one is not exactly my color. It's something manly. This one is not made for men so much. It looks good on you though.
This one.
Yeah, I need a shirt that will make people laugh.
Make someone be loved, yeah?
Make someone be loved, yeah. Tell me how to make someone love me.
I know.
I've never had.
When the man use the woman clothes,
Yeah.
the other one must be loved.
Oh, so I have to put on women's clothes?
Yes.
But then only men will like me. That's not what I want. That's not the system I'm looking for here. These women, they like to chew this betel nut. It makes their mouth all red. Maaf, yes. Do you like football? What is your name? Yes? Are you from around here? Hey, you guys got Beetlejuice on my betel nuts. Betel nut is a mild stimulant, and it turns out none of these ladies have all their teeth. Just like meth heads back home. Oh, I don't know. This is a fruit? Itu enak. This is bagus? And itu enak it was, but for 12 cents, it really busted my budget. You like that? If I go like this? Oh! Yeah. You guys have the nicest spread in the whole place. I don't know why we wasted all our time over there. We should have been here the whole time. After shopping all day, I went to get one of the best fruit salads I've ever seen. Check it out. Passion fruit, pineapple, a plethora of pretty petunias. And now we get to go play with primates. We have this bridge here, and it says Max 6 Beopel. Max 6 orang. They're not saying 6 people or 6 orangutan. Orang means people. Right now we're going to go see the orangutan, the people of the forest, and the most beautiful animal on earth. So these British people here said this guy's wearing pants. No. In my country, that's not what we call pants. That's what we call no pants.
Yeah.
I like your outfit. Yeah. Where do you go shopping? Oh, hello. How are you, my friend? Hi. This monkey looks so sad. You can just see on his face, you know? Good luck, little guy. I hope you make it. And this is a rat monkey. I'm afraid of you. These guys are very aggressive. They show you their teeth, and they're always just trying to steal your bananas. This is for the orangutan, not for you. No soup for you. You gotta always be watching these guys.
See, look, he's stealing right now. I tell you, macaques suck. The first orang I came across was a single mom and her baby quarantined for safety. Of course, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, so I get too close and she grabs me.
That's my microphone. I know you are sad to be in a cage, but soon they're gonna let you out. She's licking me. No, don't take the mic. Please don't take the mic. It's not good. It's not good. Not many people will get to play with an orangutan in their life. We love you. That's a great smile.
Boy, that is a great smile. It reminds me of all the friendly smiles we got at the mall. Hey, is it possible that orangutans chew betel nut? When I came to Bukit Lawang 10 years ago, orangutans were everywhere. They walked through the restaurant at my guest house. I got mobbed by them on the trails. This year, Pesek was one of only 2 semi-wild orangutans and their babies that we saw.
Hello. Hello, Pesek. You remember me?
Indeed, this is the same orang who I met up close 9 years ago.
This is a semi-wild orangutan, and they're feeding it bananas and milk until she can learn how to forage for herself in the wild. I'm guessing this young baby is no more than 3 months old. The mother was once captive, rehabilitated at the center, and then re-released into the wild. The orangutan is the largest arboreal primate, and is the only great ape which exists outside of Africa. If you want to protect orangutan habitat, please do not buy rainforest hardwoods like teak, mahogany, and rosewood. It's the best thing you can do to save the rainforest. I hear that you had somebody stealing from you. Who is this man, Abdul? Is he a man?
The orangutan, yeah.
Orangutan, not a man. And you cannot stop because they are too strong.
Cannot, oh man. It's very hard to fight with Abdul. Abdul is really strong orangutan.
And he is wild. He is not
wild.
What did he take from you?
Whiskey, 2 bottles.
2 bottles of whiskey.
Coca-Cola, 6 bottles.
And he drinks. He drinks.
Early morning around like 7 o'clock, they already take my stuff.
Drinking for breakfast?
Yeah.
Oh, this is no good.
The energy from alcohol.
Oh boy.
So very clever, something like that.
He needs orangutan AA.
If you'd like to help the orangutans, visit the Bohorok Rehabilitation Center, donate to them, or send a check to your local chapter of Alcoholics Anonymous, whatever works for you.
We're going tubing. We're going tubing here in Bukit Lawang, and it is funner than shiitake mushrooms, let me tell you. Here we go. Oh!
Kudos to Phil, my cameraman, for jumping in after me. In just a second, you'll see he eats shiitake. Fortunately, the camera and the cameraman survived, and we're still rolling down the river.
You can see the jungle behind me. This is where the orangutans live, and we're just floating down the river on inner tubes. It doesn't get better than this. On December 27, 2003, Bukit Lawang suffered a terrible flash flood that killed 283 people, including 7 Western tourists. The reason for this flash flood was illegal logging of trees like this in the Gunung Leuser National Park. What they do is cut down the biggest, most valuable trees and then leave the small, useless trees behind, which is called slash. When it rains, this slash comes down the slopes of the hills and form a giant dam. Then when there's heavy rains, this dam breaks. It destroyed the entire village of Bukit Lawang. Getting ready to head to Berstagi. We're going to be taking a 3-day trek. We're smashed into a tiny little 2-stroke tuk-tuk here.
3 hours of local transport before our trek. Oh yeah.
This is the only way to fly. Yeah! Top of the bus. This may be the last time we ever see our backpacks. Bye, backpack. Hope to see you again.
Our packs will ride a bus, and we're trekking through the rainforest.
And I think carrying one backpack is hard. So we have here the harvesting of the nut of the palm. So this is what they do when they make palm oil. They take these off the top of all the trees that you see around, and then they press these nuts and get the oil out. If he's lucky, I think he makes maybe $5 a day.
Palm oil is used for biodiesel, often leading to deforestation when companies slash huge swaths of rainforest to make palm oil plantations. Who'd have thunk that palm oil and busting nuts would actually lead to an unhappy ending? Aw, poor guy.
Is this your monkey?
He looks angry about being on such a short leash. He must be married. It's hard to get over the brutal animal treatment. But what about the brutal treatment of Indonesians by their government? Did you know that former president slash dictator Suharto stole $35 billion while in office? Women like this work their asses off for pennies a day, and they do it with a smile.
Oh ya, terima kasih.
Indonesia releases more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere from the burning of forests than any country on Earth. And it turns out most of the wood burning is happening right here in this kitchen. As they prepare dinner, I'm thinking, I like smoked foods, it adds flavor. But no, thank you when it comes to second-hand smoked foods.
We have a beautiful meal here prepared for our trek. We have tempeh, vegetable curry, another vegetable dish, rice. Everything is just wonderful. And in Indonesia,
Yeah.
we say, Salamat makan.
La siang.
We're on our way to the Gunung Leuser National Park, the largest national park in Southeast Asia. I really enjoy this trail. It's a good thing we got a machete. I think I got my first leech of the day.
It's a little-known fact that all leeches are hermaphrodites. This one I nicknamed Jamie Leach Curtis.
Come on, none of that.
I'm naming this one Suharto, the biggest leech of all.
My shoes are the most leech-friendly shoes I've ever seen for jungle trekking. So this is some kind of a porcupine plant, I guess. We got a little spiky thing here.
It's unlikely we'll see any wild animals because locals have eaten them or chopped down their habitat. Still, I'm deep in the Sumatran rainforest, so you never know. Hey, look at that! This is a Thomas Langer, also called a Thomas leaf monkey. These guys are amazing climbers. Hey, look, did you see that jump? This is great. Here you see its black coat, its chest full of white fur, and its distinctive black mohawk. The black hair is important because it's common knowledge that white monkeys can't jump. What a great way to travel that's gotta be. It's a shame we humans have over-evolved so we can no longer fly through the treetops. We gotta hack our way through the jungle. Or, for you creationists, God punished us for eating the apple by taking away our long-distance tree jumping ability. And for those of you who aren't entomology buffs, if you want to know what this is, look it up on Wikisenopedia.
They bring us pineapple, served on a beautiful little tray like this. These guys are amazing. We're in the jungle of the Gunung Loisor National Park with Ali and Diar. They are our guides, and they are the Ricky brothers.
No, Ricky Martin.
What is the name of this fruit?
This fruit, kepung. We call in bahasa is kepung. Yeah.
Jungle tracking food, living off the land.
Yeah.
You cannot be more in the jungle than this. When you see the rainforest being destroyed like this, you can't help but feel some empathy for the people who are doing it. I don't blame them. It's not that they don't have respect for the jungle. They just need to earn a living.
One way to support these people is to buy shade-grown coffee, which is grown in areas that are not clear-cut rainforests.
I can honestly say in many years of trekking, this was one of the hardest treks I've ever done. Dense jungle, steep trails, but beautiful.
We just passed a coffee plantation, and now I'm entering the village where the workers live. As I arrived, I saw many women working, and apparently the men were on a coffee break. So I asked my guide, Ali, about it.
I want to know about the men in this village. What do they like to do?
So like the man in this village, nothing to do, something like just woman working in the coffee plantation and rice field.
Okay, so the men have nothing to do because
to do in
the
here.
women do everything.
Yes.
All right.
So like the man just sitting in the coffee shop, like drinking of coffee and smoking, playing chess and talking.
Drinking, yes, talking. So if the man wanted to work, would the women like that? Would that make them happy?
Yeah, of course, he can do that.
Of course. Okay, I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
The women do all the work? Sumatra, here I come!
As I trek through the jungle, I'm amazed by how the insects and plants make their own symphony. It's overwhelming, and I propose to you that when a tree falls in the rainforest, there is a sound. And I'm not talking chainsaws. I invite you to listen in and enjoy. Rain? Nobody told me it rains in the rainforest. After trudging 50 miles over 3 days, we finally arrive in the valley of the village of Berstagi.
It's sunny, and it's raining, and there's a volcano behind me. Sumatra is full of surprises. Just wait till we get to the top and look inside. Selamat pagi! Saya boleh gila! Ya, saya boleh gila!
Just outside of Berstagi, I indulge in some snacks sold by a local street vendor and try to talk to her in her national language.
What you mean? This one? You don't know it? Apa? Itu. Apa itu?
Batang turi.
Bataturi? Oh, okay.
Of course, she struggles to understand.
I'm trying some of these local treats. This is really nice. Little rice cakes or tapioca or something, but it sure tastes good. Good stuff. Very enak. Sangat enak.
My poor
ini.
Indonesian speaking made her giggle. Another satisfied Laughing Planet customer. After the long, hard trek, I was reunited with my backpack. I thanked Ali and DR, and now all I want is a good night's sleep. Let's hope the first of the 5 prayers a day Islam requires doesn't come too early. What the fatwa? It's 4:30 in the morning! If I don't get some sleep, I'm gonna blow my top like Krakatoa. I'm up. Guess I'll get an early start on my hike to Mount Sibayak.
The grandmother of sulfur is called Nini, and you have to ask permission before you urinate on the mountain. Fortunately, I'm sweating so much I haven't had to ask permission yet.
We didn't get the memo about what to do if you have the runs.
We got a beautiful spot like this on our way to an active crater. And we're the only tourists in town as far as I can tell. Behind me we have what are called fumaroles. These are steam vents which vent the gas from deep inside the Earth's core. Dihydrogen sulfide, I believe. We have to be careful as we're walking around here because if the winds shift and we start inhaling this stuff, we're gonna get pretty sick.
And finally, here we have it, the center of the active crater in the volcano. Lava sold separately.
This hot gas is chasing me around. Sumatra is a wild and exciting place.
All this hot air and gas kind of reminds me of the baby boomers. Except this volcano isn't going to destroy the world by using up all its resources. This trail may not look treacherous, but just a few weeks earlier, a tourist from Austria went missing for 8 days here. Fortunately, I'm an experienced trailblazer.
Thank you, Nini, for a beautiful day here at Mount Sibiak. Thank you, Nini.
How do you get lost with a volcano this size to direct you? A rescue operation eventually found the idiot. Dumbest Austrian ever. Except maybe Wolfgang Puck, the Governator, or that Hitler guy. The quintessential Indonesian experience is riding the local buses. They moonlight as the local school bus around here, and this one just set the Guinness record for most people ever aboard a tiny minivan. 30 people.
Hey, kids, don't forget to fasten your roof belts. I really thought our last bus with 17 people was full. It's just amazing. And they're just cracking up the whole time.
Somehow the minivan suspension held up and we arrived just in time for the ferry. We're crossing Lake Toba, one of the largest crater lakes in the world, and smack dab in the middle of Sumatra. The 5-hour trip from Brastagi is looking like it's going to be 8 or 9 hours, but I'll tell you what, it's worth it. We're on our way to Tuk Tuk, Samosir, Lake Toba, Sumatra. The journey was quite a trip, but not the kind of trip you do on magic mushrooms. Hey, wait a second. That's not how you spell laundry.
We interrupt this docu-comedy for an important message about magic mushrooms.
Make the sign before you shroom.
But seriously, you don't need to be tripping to enjoy the beauty and scenery at a place like this.
This is beautiful Samosir Island on the banks of Lake Toba, which was formed by an ancient volcanic eruption that may have been the cause of the last ice age. A place like this was once very much on the beaten track, but since the disaster of September 11, 2001, the tsunami, and other factors, a room like this now goes for $3 a night.
One of the cheapest ways to have fun is to make friends with the locals, so that's what I did the next day.
Salamat Chong, hi! Hello! I think she's really deaf. Is she deaf?
I want to make fried.
Fried peanut.
Fried peanut. And
Okay.
make garu-garu.
Can I help her with the peanuts?
Sure.
Okay, why not? Just like this, and then you take off. Ini tidak bagus, very small, kecil. I hear that Indonesian people have small peanuts, but I don't know this is what they mean.
So, where do you come from?
I'm from America.
Yeah?
Yes. You know, you've heard of it? Never heard of it, yeah. It's a country
No.
far from here.
Not so many from your country come here.
Here, Anthony tells me what to expect from Catholic Church in the world's largest Muslim country.
And then you have to put some money for, what is this? Collector?
Put some money, yeah. This is the same in my country. You think he is so rich already. I think Jesus has so much money.
Oh, tonight have a Batak music in
Yeah,
Bagus Bay.
the Bagus Bay.
Yes.
Yeah, so we go there.
You have a fine, good people there and good dancing.
I find good people everywhere. I find good people right here.
Anthony recommended a cool place to check out local music, so I headed to the Bagus Bay restaurant. The band was great, but they reeked of booze.
The young ones play guitars and sing the Batak song. but sometimes they drink too much. Then they get drunk and shout, "Sorry."
I'm in my Sunday best, and we're on our way to church.
What's that old adage? Sin on Saturday, saved on Sunday? Whoa, is that guy making holy water on the church? On the volcano, you gotta ask Nini if it's okay to pee on her mountain. But at church, it's like, piss off, I'm taking a leak? Of course, I got no idea what everyone's saying. Who knew you could be bored at church? But the music is truly mesmerizing. Oh, come on. Not the old "I'm pretending to pray while the collection plate passes by." Did I really do that? Am I really that cheap? Yes, I am. As you'll see as I catch my next ride.
We were hitchhiking on our way to Amberita, and the first car that went by was this beautiful ride driven by this beautiful man.
Mr. Roy.
Mr. Roy from Tuk Tuk. I like your mustache. This is very nice.
Very good.
Look at this car, man. Convertible. It's so cool.
You're lucky you come to Lake Dover, eh?
The stunning architecture makes Amberita a great place to learn about Batak culture.
As we saw in church, the Toba Batak are a very spiritual people. Historically, they practiced spirit worship, animism, and ritual cannibalism. And this location is where the village elders would sit and pass judgment on the accused, and this table is where they would be beheaded.
They used to hang actual heads over the doors, but the stench ruined their appetite for more delicious body parts. Using wooden heads allowed the cannibals to enjoy eating human elbow macaroni, bearded clam chowder, and the favorite body part of the Bataks, the buttocks.
This is the medicine man.
Magic man who lives in the tree?
Yes, of course. The medicine man also very important.
Yes.
Important for people, example, to help the people if someone they have sick from malaria.
Right,
That's
malaria.
why the medicine man is want to help to the people.
Okay, so the medicine man kills mosquitoes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
But different.
Look at this nose, it's so big.
Of course big,
Yeah.
but your nose not so they are long your nose.
Where are they now, File? Case closed. Eric Estrada is now in Sumatra.
Agus. No, I did not finally get arrested, but my friend here gave me a ride from the guest house for a very cheap price. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you so much. And I'm going to give him my address, and we are going to exchange information. Even the police are friendly.
As I'm waiting for the bus, I meet this lush. This Indian guy's so drunk, he must work at a last call center.
11 o'clock in the morning, and you are wasted. So you speak Hindi, Bahasa Indonesia, and you speak drunk talk. Yes. Okay. Ah, I love you, man. I love you.
I love me.
Never a shortage of interesting people. Mini. Tidak mini. I should pay him because that was so funny, but I will not pay him.
Suddenly, I find myself at a Batak wedding. They don't have shotguns, this is a machete wedding. With the traditional 3 rings of marriage: the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. These folks were nice to let me crash their wedding, but since there's no chance a cracker like me can pass himself off as Cousin Dewa, I'm skipping the reception and looking for a ride to Katambe. That's when we had to stop for gas. Hey, wait, is that guy smoking at the gas station? I don't think that's a good idea. Can't you guys read? It's right there in English. I'm not sure what's more disturbing, a 6-year-old smoking, or the fact that we're all about to get blowed up. Maybe they should have written that sign in Bahasa Indonesia. Not that it matters, because in any language, when the gas tank blows up, you're all dead. And if tanks of gas exploding don't kill you, then there's always the rancid meat that gives you explosive gas. Either way, it's a terrible way to go. We're in the town of Siti Kelang on the border of the Aceh province. In the largest Muslim country in the world, Aceh is the most extreme Muslim state of all, practicing Sharia law. So basically, we're risking our lives here. We might be captured and beheaded.
Want to kill me? Shooting bullet, no? No. Okay, good. Anybody want to kill me here? I'm American. So you want to kill me? Do you want to kill me?
Yeah.
You want to kill me?
Oh no!
No?
Okay,
You don't want to kill me? He wants to kill me! Okay, come on! Watch out, be careful for the Americans. Americans, very dangerous. Always have guns.
When we finally arrive in the Aceh province, we're the only foreign tourists around, and I'm worried that's gonna make me a target.
We're being chased by another duck right now. Aceh is the most extreme Muslim area in all of Indonesia, so I'm not sure what they want to do with us. All I know is I gotta paddle like hell right now. We showed up too late to get a public bus to Katambe, so we have to ride in the smallest little motorcycle sidecar I've ever seen. 1 hour in this thing. I can't believe how small this is.
Suddenly, our tiny tuk-tuk breaks down in the middle of the road. We almost get nailed by some cars, and then he gets it going again and bails on us.
We've got downed high-tension wires. Our tuk-tuk had to turn back. It's 5 miles to Katambe. We're in the middle of nowhere. This is adventure travel.
Luckily for me, people live in the middle of nowhere. This family gave me shelter from the storm and saved my butt.
Gunung Leuser Park in Katambe is one of the most important and wildest biological preserves in the world. One example of this is that in 1985, a pack of killer elephants stampeded crops and villages on the way to the ocean looking for much-needed salt.
With a lime and a shot of tequila. This area was once a war-torn stronghold of the Free Aceh rebels. The tsunami forced the warring factions into a ceasefire, so now brave tourists can enjoy the beauty of this region. I think peace beats war any day. Traveling by bus in the developing world often means lending a hand to clear the road. Of course, moving rocks from a mudslide while the mountain is still falling can get discouraging. A few more hours of this, and I'm changing my name to Sisyphus.
We've come across some beautiful Sumatran fruit bats that they have caged up to sell for meat.
Recipes include batatouille and bat manicotti, all made by Chef Bat Boyardee.
Oh my God! Hey! Oh my! Hang in there. I'm a little bit stuck here. I can't find my shoes. Hey! How are you today? I needed your help!
In the middle of the trail, I run across a small creek. It starts with S and ends with T. I couldn't really read the sign, but it rhymes with
Okay!
So I lost my shoes up creek. And I have to say, this might be the first time in my life my traveling shoes actually made a place smell better. At least I have the beautiful scenery to keep my mind off my aching feet as we continue through the backlands of Sumatra. Nearing the end of my month in northern Sumatra, I visited the city of Banda Aceh. I expected to find the town in complete ruins because it had been devastated by the tsunami of 2004. Instead, I found a city that was bouncing back. If you were one of the millions of people who sent money for relief, take heart, it worked. I'm proud of my fellow Americans and the rest of the world for stepping up when people were in need. It's hard to imagine now, but at one time, this entire town was underwater. People were clinging to trees, hanging on for dear life as many of their loved ones perished right in front of their eyes. I was in Asia when the tsunami hit, and I remember the faces of the people affected by this tragedy. So I went to the mass graves to pay my respects to the families of the people who had fallen in Banda Aceh. This is Lembara, one of several mass graves in town, where nearly 47,000 people were interred.
I can only hope all this colorful money winds up in some hands that really need it.
This is the perfect place for the Laughing Planet to demonstrate that healing starts when you laugh. So it's time to goof with the locals some more.
You know what does it say?
No, what does it say? The call to prayer is not a call on the cell phone.
The next day, I went to the biggest mosque around that actually withstood the earthquake and tsunami intact. And there I was greeted by a cute girl with an outfit from Dancing Banana Republic.
Behind me, the beautiful beckon to the midday prayer sounds at Masjid Raya Bektu Rahman, the largest and most beautiful mosque in all of Aceh. Miraculously, the mosque was spared from the 2004 earthquake and tsunami that devastated the region. This is, of course, seen by local Muslims as a sign of divine intervention, that God is great and willing to protect the most sacred monuments in the region.
As we shot this incredible footage, we were stunned at the beauty, spirituality, and tranquility of the mosque. Not being of the Muslim faith, we didn't realize we weren't allowed to be in there. Did they manhandle us or throw us out on our keisters? No. They politely asked us to leave, but not before they let us get a few more of these glorious shots.
Put in a good word to Allah for me, okay?
After praying at the mosque and saying Allah Akbar, which means God is great, we hit the mall looking for the Allah Akbar and grill.
Thank you. That's not really my color. Not really my color. Do you have anything with like red and hibiscus flowers? I like the red shirts with hibiscus flowers.
Many people think Muslims wear only black headscarves. But here at the mall, you see they have lots of colorful choices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bagus. Yeah. So look, we look like the same. This is my sister here, yes? That's my friend.
They accept Visa and American Express, known here as Infidel Express.
Thank you very much.
I had a lovely time in Banda Aceh, the most conservative Muslim city in Southeast Asia. And go figure, I still have my head. Is it possible that our views of Islam have been distorted by the corporate media, who would have us believe that roughly a fourth of the world's population hates us? To me, they're just like the rest of us, and the more we interact and laugh with them, the better off we'll all be. And what better place to interact with people than on a deserted tropical island?
As if the rest of northern Sumatra wasn't remote enough, we're on our way to Pulau Way, at the westernmost tip of the world's largest archipelago. Remote beaches, lush forests, and who knows what await here on this remote paradise. They let the trucks and the motorcycles and the people all off at the same time. You might get run over on a boat.
The pace really slowed down once we hit the beach.
It's a great way to wrap up a month in northern Sumatra.
It's better than a Corona commercial. It calls for some kind of exotic cocktail. I guess the drink Sex on the Beach comes to mind. Or if you came here dateless like I did, I guess the cocktail is called Sex with Goats on the Beach. Sorry, that was bad.
Whew. That was incredible. I've seen a sea turtle, a mother and baby octopus, stingrays, and of course millions upon millions of fish. Beautiful, colorful, tropical fish. Pulau is amazing. Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed northern Sumatra. Remember, the best way to save the planet is to keep laughing. Keep laughing. Keep laughing. Keep laughing. Keep laughing. Keep laughing. Yeah.